Honestly, I think this is a really probably one of the easiest setup that I've done when it comes to things this. If you're coming from the legacy Model Y to the Juniper, or you're coming from a different car entirely to a new Juniper or new Model 3, what you don't have in those cars is a gear stalk. It's on the screen. So if you need to change your gears, that's how you do it. You swipe up to go forward, you swipe down to go into reverse, and you press to park. You also have gears up here in the roof, and if you don't know, you have options of gears in the roof. You touch that and you can see your PRND shows up there that you can use, but it's not convenient to have to figure out where that is first to start that, or sometimes using the steering is also not so convenient. So solution you can have then is a gear stalk on here, which I've got an example here where I have a gear stalk on here with a mini screen here, and this is an option you can also get from Hansshow. But if you don't want a screen on your steering panel and you want on your steering wheel and you want a gear stalk too, I have a solution here for you. This is the gear shift control knob or stalk. This is from Hansshow, and this basically gives you that same gear stalk without the screen. This one also fits a lot more OEM. This takes you back to that original Tesla gear stalk with a button at the end that lets you put it in park. So I'll talk about this more in a second here. Now we'll go through this, what it looks like, how it compares to everything else. We'll go through installing it and functionality and go from there. Welcome to the channel. All right, so let's go through what you have in this box real quick. Prior to wiring, this is gonna connect to your OBD port, CAN bus data port that's in that passenger A pillar over there. And this will connect to the brain commander module, which is this over here. So this will connect to this, and that's it. The beauty of this here is you don't have any wiring. So you can see this is the commander here. You have that port and there's no other ports to go. So this communicates to this, and this is the actual device itself. This is all wireless, as you can see. That's it. You do have a USB-C port here that lets you charge this gear stalk, but the beauty of this is, again, it's all wireless. And as you can see, you've got your gears in there. So you can push up for reverse, push down for drive, and then the button at the end here for park. So that gives you how it used to be in the Tesla or the legacy models, where you had a push button at the end for park. And again, this is all wireless, so you will glue this to your steering, and that's how it stays. And then you've got a USB-C port here on the bottom that lets you charge it. So we'll have to see how long it lasts when you plug it in. How long does it last? You know, I don't know how long it will take. I don't know if I have enough time to like test this out for weeks to know how long it lasts, but I'm sure if it dies out, you're able to know. Just plug it in USB-C. They do include USB-C cable in here in the package also to be able to charge it up. So I don't know how long it is. We'll check and see. But you have a USB-C port in the center console. You can plug to that to charge this up, and then and if this dies, where this is launched on a battery and it dies, you have your screen as a plan B and your roof gears as a plan C. So but again, the fact that this is all wireless, I already love it, because it could be a pain trying to run cables and everything. But that's the whole package. You have an addition promoter here, and that's it. So let's go through installation and then see how well this functions. And again, this is from Hansshow. I will have links and discount code in the description for you to use if you want to order yours. But again, this should be very seamless. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, so for the work we're going to be doing the work in this panel over here. You got to take off a piece here, take off this piece, and the best way to do that is just pull back on this weather strip up until about here. You're going to take this plastic strip over here, the way that's out, and then there's a clip here, And then once that's done, you want to pull up this piece here from the floor. And then from there, you're just going to pull up and out. And that's it. Before I do anything here, I'm going to go to the screen, go to the settings, safety, scroll to the very bottom, power off, and power off. Things are going to shut off. But then what you're going to be working with is this data port back here and this power port back here. All right, so from Tesla, this is going to be open. This is going to be in here, plugged into this data port, power port. We're going to disconnect that. You're going to take the kit you have from your gear stalk, and that blue is going to go into data port here. This will stay open. If you have other things, you can just dischain them. And then your power is going to go into here. Then your Tesla will go into the back, this open port over here. All right, now that it's all plugged in, I'm going to take the power port, plug that into the module. I've got a red light over here, and so it looks like we're in business. So from here now, it's just a matter of now syncing, and let's see. We got to figure out how to turn this on. There we go. When I press this button here, automatically, I don't know if it's hard to see, but there's a blue light that shows up here, and I press a button. You can see the red light here goes off, so that lets me know, this lets me know that they are both talking to each other, right? I'm going to push down. So basically, anytime I push down on any button, the red light here goes off. So again, it looks like they are in sync, and so yeah, we're good to go. I'm just going to put everything back here, put it all back, and then go from there. Okay, so it's been connected. You can see I still have it open. I've not put it back yet, but I wanted to test and make sure that everything is working. And so like this by itself, nothing is happening. It's not changing, it's not triggering the gears or anything. You can see this, it's just nothing. But once I press on the brakes and I do this, now I can see we're in reverse. Oh, sorry, now we're in reverse, down, we're in drive, I push, I have park. And I'm going to try and see, and like I see when you hold this down, it activates the emergency, the parking brake. So let's see if that works here too. Okay, so that doesn't do anything. So I'm not sure that's something that Tesla has done away with these cars, but there you go. If your foot is up the brake, there you go. It's telling me I gotta press the brake to shift gears, right? And nothing. Yeah, press brake to shift gears. So it's reading the request to shift gears. And again, I press the brake, drive, reverse, park. And so this will sit basically right here on the steering. But we'll finish put things away, and then we'll stick this on, and then that'll be it. So again, this is very, very simple, straightforward process. I think all wireless. So we'll do that, and then we'll see about charging this too, and just kind of see what that looks like. Okay, since we've confirmed all that stuff works, again, it's going to be getting glued right about here. So let me see about bringing the steering out a little bit more. All right, so we're going to be doing that right here just to see how the placement will look like. So I've got the adhesion promoter. Before we do that, actually, I want to test this charging thing real quick. If you're ready to charge it from the USB-C port in the center console, the cable is long enough to conveniently reach it and not even be in your way. So, but I'm going to just plug this in here and just see what that looks like. So when it's charging, it's red. Let's see, does it work when it's charging still? Okay. Yeah, so even when it's charging, it still works. And so you can leave it there, be charging, and then once it's done and it's green, you take it off. I wish the light was more on top, because if it's mounted and it's charging, you can't really see that light. So you gotta, I guess, you gotta look under a little bit to see it. But if that was on top, it's probably easier to see. So, but not a big deal. I'm gonna take this off for now. Let us do the mounting, and we'll conclude from there. So let's get the adhesion promoter. Okay, while that's drying, I'm gonna peel off. Personally, I'm not a fan of stick-on modules because it gives some kind of a permanence. I like to be able to take things off easy. So hopefully if I want to take this off at any point in time, it's not a big deal. Especially if you have to go to Tesla service centers and they say I have a mod, because the way this mounts, it mounts across these two surfaces. And so if you have to do anything with that steering piece, you can't open this piece anymore. This has to come off. So we'll talk about this again in more details, but the adhesion gives it some permanent. You can't really mess it up. Once you check it out before you stick it on and you know how it needs to go, then that's it. And you don't need that much force to where you're going to yank this off. And so I'm just going to press on for a few seconds. Now say that's it. We're good to go. So again, turn signal, gear start, and it's within reach. Drive, reverse, park. And then I'm gonna plug this in and just let it charge while we're here. All right. So that's the gear stalk here. Again, it's from Hansshow. It's your gear shift control box from Hansshow. Again, this honestly, it's a very, very simple, seamless process. That's what it looks like over there. This is your turn signal right here. Gear stalk is over here. So it's all almost pretty much flush line of line. Real quick, pros of this wireless, except for the charging cable that you have to plug to charge however often, it's wireless. And honestly, that by itself is a big difference. You just have to plug the module into the data port that you have over there, but it talks to this gear stalk or wirelessly. So there's no running wires from here to there. That honestly by itself, number one, pro. Number two pro, the park button, right? Legacy Model Ys, Model 3s had a park button. The one that had it before, you have to push down and hold down to park. With this one here, you don't do anymore. Just push the button and you're in park. So that again makes it very similar to OEM. Perfect. Number three, it may not be a big deal, but alignment, symmetry, next to the turn signal, the symmetry is a lot better now than what you had before. And so very, very good things about this. Now, of course, there are some cons that I would say too. Con, you don't have a neutral button. With the OEM Tesla gears, you do have your park reverse drive, and you could hold in between reverse and drive to get the neutral. You don't have that in this case. So it's still the same park, reverse, drive, no neutral. If you need neutral, again, you've got parking gears on the roof here, but that's that. Number two con that I would say, and this is probably like my biggest one, not a big deal, it's just more of a preference thing, is the fact that this sticks on with glue and it's straddling the two plates of the steering cover. So when it comes to sticking things on, for me, it looks more, it gives a more permanent vibe. And I don't like permanent vibes because again, you want to be able to take things off easily. Especially with these cars, you go to Tesla service center and they'll tell you got something in there. I took our other car to the service center recently because the cabinet reader kept giving me errors. And when I got there, they gave me all sorts of excuses. They told me it was my driver screen. Then they told me it was my radar detector. And then they told me, well, it might, when they went to the OBD port over there, I had like a little OBD adapter under here for power. They told me it was that. And they're like, yeah, well, you have so many accessories in your car and we don't know which one is causing the problem. I'm like, the radar sensor over here has nothing to do with everything else. So I had to take off the OBD adapter that I had in there and I had to go into the B pillar or A pillar and take off a couple of my connections. That's my only concern with this being on with glue. If Tesla says, you've got a gear stalk here that could be interfering, take it off so we can get to that piece. With this being glue, you can't take it off. So if there's a way to make it where probably the build that gear stalk into a new cover over the steering wheel cover, that probably would be a better option because again, it's making it easier to just clip, disconnect and switch it out and boom. Number three, con with this is the light that tells you it's charging, it's on the bottom. And so to know if it's done charging, you kind of have to like look down here. Okay, it's still red. So that's the only thing. It will be nice if they can make it to where you can have the light on top, or maybe even the light be on this side, so like you can just easily look and it's green, you're done. Versus you gotta, look down. So not a big deal, but again, if Hansshow is looking for feedback and improvement, these are my suggestions. But honestly, I think this is a really, really probably one of the easiest setup that I've done when it comes to things that like this. So if you are interested in this device, I'm gonna have links and again codes in the description. This is the gear shift control Stalk. It's for your Model 3 and your Model Y. I will have links, discount code in the description. Check it out. If you have thoughts, questions, comments, feedback, feel free to leave them in there. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Also, check out Hansshow for a ton of other products. And if this has been helpful for you, as always, please like the video, share it. If you're not subscribed, hit that button, and we'll see you next time.